pace, hasn't he?
Yeah, I haven't seen much of him since the pit stop.
And then adjusted yourself the wrong way.
Yep. Look at this.
You get old, you start getting nonsense.
Halfway. Welcome back to New Hampshire International Speedway. They've just taken the halfway sign in the Slick 5300. Sterling Marlin trying to win his first Winston Cup race at New England's first Winston Cup race. Now, the Grand National Tour did a northern swing, 1964 to 67. They went to Old Bridge, New Jersey, Bridgehampton, New York, up to Fonda, New York, and Islip Thompson, Connecticut. Since Winston started with the series, took on the name Winston Cup, there has not been a race in New England. This is the first. Jeff Gordon being overhauled on the inside by Mark Martin.
We saw Mark drive under him in the corner. There's Gordon. We see him working that wheel a little bit like he did the first of the race. Car might have got away from him just a little bit, changed on him some.
Only one pit stop so far. The next should be coming in about 10 to 15 laps for the race leaders. There's Mark Martin. As you look from the windshield post on the Valvoline Ford, that latch at the top of the screen holds the window net in.
Guys down the pits just gave us word that the 24 and 8, they took a round of bite out of the car. So the track must be getting tighter and tighter. We see him working that wheel a little bit more. He's anticipating that took some NASCAR racing.
No, and I hope not. Boy, that would be a disaster for me when I was driving.
Guys, you were talking about Jeff Gordon falling back a little bit. They took one round of biting out of the car, as you said, and it was a little tight. Now they got another problem. Jeff just radioed in, said they're having problems with the brakes. The brakes are fading on the car, going away, so he's going to be dropping back a little bit. You get on the brakes real hard going into these corners, it's going to be hard to cool those things. Maybe he can just back off for a few laps, and they'll come back, but that's a serious problem. Probably something he'll have to contend with the rest of the day.
Davey Allison trying the inside as we give you our Napa field standing update because there are no unimportant parts. Napa, Davey Allison looking for Sterling Marlin's lead position.
That looked like he had that inside line. He lifted a little bit. Sterling came down. Allison's been rolling him in, but look at the 2 car. He's sitting there right there with him. Talking about braking being a big factor. Rusty Wallace's team really works on that braking stuff. Henske's involvement, road racing. He should be in good shape.
Rusty does very well at Martinsville, and everybody keeps comparing this racetrack to Martinsville. It's Martinsville plus about 100 miles an hour where you start using the brakes. So it's really important to be able to save the brakes and have all the stuff that this car has.
Before you call it an ass, the last Winston Cup race in New England, when it was called the Grand National Series, Bobby Isaac won it en route to the championship in 1970. I think 5/8 mile was the site.
Yeah, but you're the only guy in the booth that's won a race here.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm also the only guy in the booth who's hit the wall here. Let's see, right about there.
That goes along with it, Mike.
And there. And a couple places up and outside the road course.
Boy, we saw Allison moving there and got the nose up around the 8. I thought he could come right back. But sometimes you make that run and you just got to settle everything back down, get the car under you, get that feel back, and then make that run again. I think that's what Davey's getting ready to do.
Following Sterling Marlin into turn 1. 25 over 57 laps.
It's like Davey's car is able to run through the middle of the corner just a little bit lower than the 8 car. Seems to roll free right in the middle. But get in there. Now watch him make that little close right there. Try to make the run up off the corner on him. Seems to be better down in 1 and 2, Mike. He seems to be able to make a lot of room, a lot of distance up in 1 and 2, and he loses some down in 3 and 4.
Well, here comes out and around Earnhardt, who is way off the pace, either brakeless or without braking effectiveness right now.
Out of the way, very uncomfortable, I guarantee you.
Here's a question from an old-time raceman, Mike from Washington. Why the cars don't have to display their cubic inches on the hood anymore?
Well, they used to do that all the time, but now everybody has the same cubic inches. Used to, you had an option at times, a 427 motor, 366 or whatever, but now everything is 350 cubic inches, and look at the billboards on the hoods. There's not room for numbers anymore.
All right. Buddy, back when you raced and we were still in grade school.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
Didn't they used to put the horsepower on the hoods?
Oh, yeah. We told it all. I mean, we didn't have many secrets back then, but as you said, these are running billboards anymore. Look at this Texaco car right here. Where would you put anything on that hood?
Plus, you'd have to have a lie detector test to get the horsepower numbers.
You might be right. 2 Fords and a Pontiac battle for the lead here at New Hampshire International. 160 laps next time by. The inaugural Winston Cup race.
You know, sometimes I've had these engine builders tell me how good the motors were. The hood aren't big enough for the numbers they tell you.
Now Wallace is right back up to the 2 Fords.
We saw a little bit of this yesterday in the Busch Series. As we talked earlier, run a car hard, get the tires hot, you back up some. Like the 8 and the 28 really worked hard on each other a while ago. Rusty's winding man, but here's Davey trying that move off turn 2 again.
As they come out of turn 2, it's quite a gap back to 4th and 5th. Dale Jarrett and Mark Martin. 4th and 5th spots, about half the straightaway. So these three have not exactly checked out, but there is a little bit of distance.
Now we're getting close to that pit stop. Yeah, I thought they were talking about the next green stop. And guess who has the advantage on that 2 car? Could be tough then.
All right, let's look back to the 4th place car as they come off this corner. There are your 3 leaders, Marlin, Allison, and Wallace. There is Dale Jarrett, and here is Mark Martin. Jarrett is 2.3 seconds behind the lead pack. Moving up on the Western Auto Chevy, Darrell Waltrip, and Wallace is back. Caution, everybody jumps out of the throttle. There is debris on the racetrack.
Boy, it was getting close to that green flag stop. These guys will be glad to do it on the caution.
Somebody's dropped something out in turn number 2.
I thought something happened to Rusty Wallace. We saw him fall off. He was the first guy
he pedaled it.
To acknowledge that yellow flag.
Well, what happens there, the spotters hear this on their radios, and they call the driver and say, caution, caution, and he backed off the minute he heard that.
So we're under caution. This one comes out at lap 163. It's the 5th caution flag of the day. We'll be back to New Hampshire after this. A word from Davey Allison about what this track might be similar to on the circuit.
Well, it's got a lot of similar characteristics to both places. Martinsville got long straightaways and tight corners. This place has long straightaways and tight corners. Phoenix is a 1-mile track and it's flat. This is a 1-mile track and it's flat. So there are a lot of similarities between the two. Who knows what's going to happen here this weekend? Maybe we'll get it figured out good enough to win the race, and maybe we won't, but it's going to be a lot of fun anyways.
Is anybody down at Jeff Gordon's car to see what they're doing to try to cool the brakes or anything? Uh-oh.
Up hit it. There and there. He's not having a great day, Patty. You know,
we got to use it though.
Maybe somebody in the pits can ask one of the maybe get Buddy Parrott to call Rusty and see if he'll talk to us if somebody's down there.
Came out second out of the deal.
Hey, if we're under caution, how about that Michael Drainus? How about that piece on the historic footage? No, we did that. But we got a little historic footage.
What does that say?
It says a bunch of stuff. Oh, Rick, happy birthday, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's already said.
That car is Bubba, is it?
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah. It's a Bubba car.